Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about happiness. What does it mean to be happy? Are you happy? These are questions that have been asked to me countless times in my life, and I have never really been able to answer them until recently. Now I can confidently say, yes, I am happy. I live a happy life. My life overall is incredibly happy. We all go through pitfalls and trials and tribulations. Stuff is always going to happen to you. We can all wish that you win the lottery. If I had a magic wand, I'd give you all the money in the world, endless supply of gold and diamonds, whatever you want. And trust me, bad things are still going to happen. People around you are still going to die. You're still going to probably end up with cancer or diabetes or some kind of shit from your poor maintenance. There's just somebody you know could get hit by a car. The country you live in could descend into anarchy or revolution. Shit's going to happen. How do you be happy? Is it possible to be happy in a world that's trying to kill you, right? This planet's trying to shake us off. It doesn't seem like it really wants us here. It's a dangerous place to live. Society is getting more and more dangerous. You have to fight for survival, it seems like. How do you be happy in a horrid, miserable world? I mean, outlook is everything. Your survival, really, your survival skills determine what filter that you put on your glasses, what filter that you see the world through. Somebody who is really good in survival can have very little and just be as happy as a clam, like the Buddha. The Buddha had this whole theory of non-attachment, not being attached to life. The source of suffering is attachment. So to get rid of attachment, you no longer suffer. Doesn't mean you stop the horrible things in life. Storms are still going to come. You're just not attached to outcomes anymore. You're not attached to being dry when the storm comes. A lot of people I talk to, I do life coaching, and I do mentoring, and a lot of people I talk to, not all, but a lot, they carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. And I think this is just a psychological problem. I think that people that end up with that sort of anxiety, with the weight of the world on their shoulders, politics and economics and global warming and all these issues, they carry around with them as if it really is affecting them. And maybe for me, I'm not so worried about that shit. They are. I know people that they just have these really trying days. They just barely get through the day. And you ask them, well, what happened? That made you so exhausted and that made you so weak today? Turns out nothing. It was something they saw on the news or heard on the radio or read in their news feed. Maybe it was a couple things. Idea of food shortages and blackouts and all these couple things, and they're just like, I can't take it. They don't understand how to be happy. Their happiness is out the window. They might have a great job, live in a wonderful neighborhood. They may have a beautiful view out their kitchen window. They may just be living this great life, and they're going around just miserable as fuck because they have the whole weight of the world on their shoulders. I mean, I'm talking about various forms of misery that I've lived through, that I know people through, and we all want to be happy. Every person I talk to wants to be happy. I rarely meet someone who says, happiness is for the birds. I do meet people like that every once in a while. They don't care about happiness. Happiness is something that is secondary. And those are the people that fascinate me. The people that aren't focused on happiness. We're all focused on happiness. You get a room of 10 dudes, there's a good chance all 10 of them have happiness as their core value of what they want the most. They just want a happy life. Whatever else happens, I just want to be happy. And then you meet that one rare unicorn who's just like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not chasing happiness. And you think, well, that person must be miserable. but they're usually not. I don't know if you've ever met anybody like this, but I have. And they're not miserable. You know what keeps them going? Don't get me wrong, these people may have hard times and they may live these really tough lives. It may be a priest who runs a homeless mission down in Skid Row. Kind of people I've met. It's a really hard job. Many times really thankless. They help somebody, they end up ODing on drugs anyways. They end up robbing and raping someone and going to prison anyways, and you tried to help them. And the homelessness just gets worse, and the mental illness just gets worse. It's overwhelming. It feels like they're never getting anywhere. And some of these people love their lives and wouldn't give it up for the world. They're deeply involved in purpose. And their life is surrounded every waking moment with purpose. Laser focused on a goal, driven. And with that daily purpose, they find their meaning, the meaning of their life. And they gain happiness through that, a sense of joy. This is Mother Teresa kind of shit. You get a sense of joy that it's like it's straight from God. It's from the universe. It radiates within. This is when you become so overfilled, your cup overflows, and you can truly feed others with your happiness. Other people become drawn to you. These are rare people. Rare people who figured out this game of life and realize that happiness isn't a chase of pleasure. It's not a chase of an escape from suffering. It's being strong enough to face the suffering and to help people around you. See, this is where a lot of people don't get it. They think happiness is self-serving. When I think of happiness, I think of pizza. Self-serving, something that I can enjoy, some kind of pleasure. Sitting on the beach with no responsibilities. That's also a narcissistic, self-serving kind of fantasy. They don't think of happiness tied in with service, with servitude. Every once in a while you meet one of these military guys, these lifers, and they really love it. They're not just killers, because I've met some guys, and I'm not trying to badmouth military people, I love military people, but some of them I've met have just been kind of bloodlust Rambo types. But some of them really they're servants. They're really interested in serving others in a protective way, in a helpful way, in all kinds of ways. And you talk to one of these types of warriors that's engaged in a life of servitude. Some first responders are like this too. And they're not necessarily like these Ned Flanders types that we think of happiness. These guys live hard lives. They see some hard shit. But they're incredibly fulfilled. They wouldn't give up what they do for the life of them. They're not looking for vacations. Have you ever met somebody who's not looking for a vacation? They don't want a vacation. A vacation is torture. They want their regular life. It's possible to live a life that you don't need a vacation from. But you have to rethink what happiness is. You have to stop looking at happiness as that cheat meal and realize the cheat meal just cheats you. Your happiness is the lifestyle. To be able to, and then you find that I would rather be in the suffering than to be out of it. You can find your happiness in suffering. I know I lost a bunch of you. Let's just stop here. It's all food for thought. Thanks for watching.